How can I enjoy some of my life and my money while I'm young and healthy versus just waiting and waiting until the future when it might be too late? Well, that's a question that I had a client of mine ask me this past week, and I wanted to dive into that topic real quick during our time together today because it's so important that in retirement planning, you understand what the three phases of planning are and the three phases of your retirement. The first phase is your go-go years you're feeling young and healthy and you want to enjoy and embrace all that life has to offer. Then you'll have some years that are kind of the slower go years where you're still doing some things, but you're maybe not flying across the ocean to Europe every summer anymore, or maybe you just want to take more local trips or spend more time with family. There's not as much big stuff going on. And then later in retirement, we have the no-go years where you really just don't feel like going anywhere. That's very normal. So then the question in retirement planning becomes, how do we have enough money for later in retirement while still enjoying all of the wealth and all of our effort during the early part of retirement? Well, I want to share a quick case study with you to walk through a client that I had and what we were able to help them do as far as their planning. See, married couple in their late 60s, we'll call them Bob and Sue. And Sue isn't working. She's already retired. Bob still works, but he's trying to figure out what to do because he enjoys what he does. He doesn't want to give up the income. He likes everything. He wants to continue to let his investments grow for the future. So it's not a question of working. He still wants to be able to work, but he wanted to figure out if there was a way where he could trim down his work commitments and yet still have the same income that he needs to be able to travel and live the lifestyle the way that they like to do. Well, what we were able to do after taking a look at his overall situation, big picture, and I'll dive into the details, what he's going to be able to do later this year is he's going to take a 20% reduction in the amount of time that he has to spend at work. So he's going to take a 20% reduction in his hours. He's going to take a 20% reduction in his income, but he's going to keep the exact same overall household income. How's that possible? How can he reduce his income by 20%? How can he reduce his hours, and yet the household still has the same income, same lifestyle? Well, through the planning that they were able to do, and they're not going to have to touch their investments. What their situation allowed them to do is they're at the point where it makes sense to start taking, while they're still working, but start taking Social Security benefits. And by taking Social Security benefits now, what they're able to do is they're able to get extra income from Social Security, still maintain income and benefits from working, but dramatically reduce hours. And then, because the income's the same, and we have Social Security, what's the best part for them? They are now able to get Social Security, and some of their Social Security comes to them tax-free. So because of that and the way everything works in their situation, work income is less. They're going to be in a slightly lower tax bracket. Social Security is going to come in and fill up some of that gap, and some of that Social Security income is going to be tax-free. So they'll have lower income from a job, increase income from Social Security, some of which is tax-free. In their situation, they're going to go take a reduction in hours, reduction in income from the job, but their household income isn't going to change. Now, I'm not here telling you, hey, you should take Social Security and cut back on your hours. What I'm saying is that is the power of having a plan. That's the power of a plan that's designed for you to get you where you want to go so that you can accomplish the things in your life and things that you have worked so hard for. You don't know what's possible, But good news is we've seen this hundreds of times in the lives of our clients. And if that's something you'd like some help with, give us a call or go to our website at ghwealthadvisors.com. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.
Start building a more secure future for you and your family. Take the first step toward financial clarity by scheduling a no-cost, no-obligation consultation with Grayhurst Wealth Advisors. See if we're the right fit for you by scheduling a consultation. Call us today at 513-984-5999 or click the link in today's show description to get started.